Phoenix.
Wake up, it's time to see the love within, the heart that's free, free, free.
Have you ever thought you're living for your relatives?
Are you thinking you're giving more than you receive?
Ever been fearing reactions if you tell what you think?
Do you happen to feel alone with people around you?
Do you look at your life wondering where it's going?
Do you think you have no choice now but to go on?
Uncomfortable answering these questions?
Have you answered yes to all 7 questions? Then, as I was, you're likely a giver who is still unconscious of her ability to get out of your mental cage and be happy. This podcast may help you wake up as a new phoenix. I woke up. I experienced a true rebirth as few may understand it. I feel now like one of the free human beings among the living deads. I am now a free thinker, therefore I am. I can hear some of you say, hell, this guy has a tremendous ego. Well, actually not. Being or becoming a free thinker is accessible to everyone. I do not say I do not have any ego. On the contrary, I learned to be proud of myself and to value and respect myself after being submissive for about 20 years. Now, I think I deserve a good life, and I work on changing things to get a better one and be less submissive while avoiding dominating anyone. I do not want to do to anyone what others did to me. That would be bad for my karma. More importantly, I learned to change myself. I do not anymore expect things to change by themselves. To change your world, you need to start by changing your vision of the world. Would you be open to changing yourself? Then, this podcast is here to help you be or become the hero of your own life. What? Do you think life is always about ups and downs? What if I tell you one can stay up if one really wants to? This may take you a lot of thinking, a lot of time looking at you in the mirror and self-reflecting, a lot of changes one after the other, a lot of concentration to observe and really see how your world is. Then, once you can feel and understand enough your mental cage to get out of it, once you're free, once you think about respecting yourself as much as one can, once you start loving yourself without forgetting about your own health and happiness, once you dream enough again to enable you again to kill your beliefs and limits, once you really intend to live a good life, once you start saying what you think whenever you can, once you start saying or writing what you want, once you start doing what you say, you won't go back to your cage even if you are surrounded by many people who are still in their own. Warning. This podcast is filled with philosophical and psychological considerations, learnings, and experiences. It may let you think much more than you think you can think, enough for some of you to be tired by hearing it, to have headaches. That would be a good sign that this podcast can influence your life. If I love modern philosophies who have been developing and enriching older philosophies, still, I love ancient Greek philosophy. I love Stoicism, probably the essence of Greek philosophy, as it has foundations dating from around 2,500 years ago while Greeks were conquering the Mediterranean world and founded in France, among many other smaller cities, Massalia, Marseille, and Nicaea, Nice, my town. Stoicism can then be considered as dating from even before Socrates was born. Note that I admit here I have mainly a Western country knowledge of philosophy based on my studies in France and work experiences. I feel, though, that I can also seize other philosophies around the world. I actually think that each religion, from the primitive prehistoric ones to the most currently adopted, is essentially a way to teach how to live a good life, which is the purpose of any philosophy. Let's say I consider it's always the same story. For me, there's one history, one world that is always changing and always the same old one at the same time. Some parts of the world woke up earlier than others, thanks to exceptional visionary prophets and their heritage. Some parts are still in the process of waking up, and all parts have always been changing and developing themselves. Nowadays, with the internet, one can learn about lessons learned by anyone in the world who communicates about them. This has led to an incredible acceleration of progress in all parts of the world. Things are changing so fast that, even for digital natives, it can be difficult to keep up with this rhythm. Some human beings freed themselves earlier than others, thanks to their learnings and self-studies, while some human beings are still in the process of waking up. All of them have the potential to further develop themselves and wake up if they are curious enough to spend time learning, if they embrace change, and if they work on themselves. If you're not ready for it and are somehow feeling lazy most of the time, I hope this podcast will get you out of laziness so you can wake up before dying. Still, you would need to make the effort to read it all and stop being lazy for a while. You do not need to be hardworking. Everyone can learn at one's own pace, accelerate at times, while slowing down in other periods.